Well, I think I've always been a very adventurous person. I've always been a person that likes to explore new things. And I think that really was birthed from a very young age. My dad was a traveler. He loved to travel in any opportunity you get. And I remember my younger brother and I, every vacation, we would travel to go somewhere, whether it was my grandmother's house, whether it was traveling to see like a tourist attraction in my home country. We used to just do that a lot, and I think that probably is what brought the love of travel, the love of seeing the world, exploring the unknown in me. I think just growing up as a girl from Africa, there's a lot of limitations. And by limitations, I don't mean necessarily limitations that are imposed by just our culture, but also I've always felt that I need to ask for permission to do stuff. And as I became an adult, I realized that my life is in my hands and I have to take control of that. But most importantly, I have to overcome the fear, because I think I realized that upon reflecting that really my fear of venturing again into the unknown and starting this new chapter of my life had a lot to do with me holding myself back and me seeking for permission and waiting for something or someone to be like, okay, do it now, go for it. And I just realized there's never going to be a perfect time, there's never going to be a perfect feeling, and the key is to act regardless, act in spite of the fear. Like, do it afraid, basically. A year ago, I had an epiphany. And what that was I was attending a specific conference in Mexico. And in this conference, I met this incredible speaker who has been, from afar, one of my mentors and guides in the way that he lives his life. And he empowered myself and of course other conference attendees with lots of tools. Part of those tools being like meditating, being present, and having a routine in life. But the biggest thing that he did was an exercise, which was like a visualizing exercise, where basically you had to picture your life at the end of your life. Like, now you're at the end of, like, I am now old Belinda, looking back on my life. What kind of things did I achieve? What kind of things did I do? What would my life look like? What would my eulogy sound like? And I think that was just really that moment that made me realize that I needed to actually step out from this fear and actually get started with this channel, get started with documenting my adventures around the world, get started with just doing exactly what I want to do, which is to use my story to impact lives positively and to use my story to truly let other people know that you can do it. Like, you can do it. You can do it afraid. And what I do hope people will get out of this channel, people will get out of my life, and people will get out of my story is to be able to live more and fear less. That's a tough question, because I've been to many different parts of the world now in a very short space of time ever since I started traveling. And it's largely thanks to the work that I do right now. But if I were to say one highlight for me, I think it would have to be 2022, actually 2023, in Auckland, New Zealand. So I was there, and one of the things that I love to do when I go to a new place is to try the food. I'm a foodie. I love trying new foods. And so me, my husband, and a few of my friends were kind of like restaurant hopping, trying on all this incredible cuisines. And then we passed by this incredible tower. It's a sky tower, the highest point in Auckland. And then one of my friends mentions like, hey, they have like a sky dive here. And I was like, what? And ever since I was a little girl, I'd always wanted to bungee jump the Victoria Falls. I'd always wanted to do something that adventurous, but I wasn't able to do it. One, because of fear, two, because of those limitations. But in this particular instance, the reason why this memory is so special to me is I made a decision in that moment that the next time I was in Auckland and I had time, I would actually do this. So I made the time, and the next time I was in Auckland, I went and I did a 192-meter jump from this particular building. It was terrifying, but also exhilarating. And what I just love is that I allowed myself to just face my fears, and I allowed myself to fulfill this dream that I had as a little girl to do something so daring and so adventurous. And it was scary. I was shaking like a jellyfish the whole time, but you know, it helped me to just feel braver, and it made me realize that I want to do more of this kind of things. Like I just want to experience discomfort in a way that grows me. Yeah, so I love that memory a lot. I have the awkward videos about that particular moment, but I always look back at that, and when I'm facing something that's difficult, I always be like, girl, you jumped off 100 nights too easy building. You can do this.
Nice big smiles. Moving back just a tiny bit, a little bit more if you can. Perfect. We'll get a photo. 1, 2, 3. One more. We'll get 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. Yeah, I've got Belinda jumping off the Auckland Sky Tower today. Belinda, how are you feeling right now?
Excited.
Yeah, this is the new word she just made up today. Now let's get a photo. We'll get 1, 2, 3. Awesome. You're gonna spin around for me, Belinda. I'm gonna get you waiting by this yellow line. Okay.
Oh my God.
Perfect. Thank you. How are we doing, Belinda? Now,
Sinking in.
which ship are you on? Are you on the one on the right or the left?
The one on the right. That's the coral right there.
Okay, nice. Now come towards me a bit more, Belinda. I'm gonna get some right in front of you, okay?
Okay.
You're gonna spin around, face that way. Thank you. I'll pop some behind your back. Do you mind just moving to the left side a bit more, Belinda? Thank you. Now I'll do some checks, okay? Main I'll check this one. Backup's good. Belinda, with your right hand, just hold on to this one nice and tight. You're gonna get your feet onto the edge, okay? With your left hand, you're gonna reach under, grab onto this red one over there. Well done. Keep holding on, Belinda. Feet right onto the edge for me, okay, champ? You're doing amazing. Keep holding on, Belinda. I'm gonna give you a countdown. As soon as I say go, let go of your hand. A nice big jump forward, okay? You ready? I'm just gonna move your hair slightly. Perfect. Ready? Here she comes in 3, 2, 1, go. Both hands off, Belinda. You got it, okay? I'll give you another countdown. Cool, trust yourself. Just let go of your hand. Go. Here she comes in 3, 2, 1, go. Have a good day.
Anything you want to say and still go pro?
I did it!
You know, I would say, to be very honest, I think I'm still overcoming them. But one of the key things was I've had a supportive system, like a supportive support system, a strong support system, if I can put it like that. From the time I was a little girl, I was always called like too loud, a little too extroverted, I think, to be a lady in my home country. And because of that, I was always very conscious of making my light shine too bright, if this makes sense. Like just being myself, just being out there. And it's still a learning process. I'm still learning to be okay with my voice, my loudness, my extrovertedness. I'm still learning to be okay with that authentic version of myself. But I've had a couple of people in my life throughout my journey who have believed in me, who have believed in my dreams, who have put me and given me opportunities that I would never have actually had it not been for these people, so you know how they say it takes a village? So I have my own personal village, and they haven't been maybe like a consistent village throughout my life, but in certain specific and key moments in my life, I've had this village to back me up. So for example, when I was 16, my mom was my biggest cheerleader, and she supported me to leave the country and go to like a high school that she had never heard of before. And it was just one of the most transformative, life-changing places that I ended up going. And I got some incredible mentors, such that when I left that place, I was ready to start my business, even though I was such a young little girl. And again, I had people who were truly, truly like guiding me, helping me to see what was important to me, helping me to see what I should be doing in that moment, but also just really cheering me on and telling me that it's okay. Like, it's okay to pursue entrepreneurship. It's okay to do something different that's a little bit off the cuff and off the beaten path. And it's been amazing. I think maybe the episodes to come, I will highlight these particular villagers that have been truly pivotal in my life. But I think my most incredible villager right now definitely has to be my husband, because he's the reason why this video is happening in the first place. I've always wanted to start this journey of documenting my life, my journey online, and starting a life of impact through sharing my story. But I have been so afraid, like so afraid to do it. And he's been gently nudging me on until now I'm sat in this chair, speaking to you, camera on the side, and just making it happen. So yeah. So far, the most valuable lesson that I've learned is evolving is so important as people. You know, think about how usually, like, you know, when you're a little girl or a little boy, you have people asking you, like, what do you want to be when you grow up, for example? And you're like, oh, I want to be a doctor or an astronaut or whatever else they may be. And sometimes we get so stuck in those identities that we don't step out to discover ourselves. A couple of years ago, I made a transition in my career from a path of entrepreneurship to something completely different from what I had known and understood. But in that, I learned so much more about myself. But it took me a while to even be confident enough to actually just be happy and be present in the new career path that I chose for myself. I felt a lot of guilt and shame for like leaving entrepreneurship behind, working for somebody. I felt a lot of fear of doing something that I had pretty much no clue how to do when I started to do it. It has a lot to do with like public speaking and engaging with people and marketing and storytelling. And you know, it was just something really, really different. But I learned so much about myself, and I don't think if I hadn't ventured into that, if I hadn't evolved into this new path, I probably wouldn't be brave enough to start this, because it really scares me, but I've started this journey. But also more importantly, I think I would have just felt stuck, and I would have felt inauthentic. And so my biggest lesson is, it's okay to evolve. It's okay to change your mind. And clarity comes in experimentation and starting that new thing. Clarity comes in trying out that thing that you feel the little nudge to do, but you're like, oh my God, can never be me, for example, you know? But as you do it, you get clarity. It's only from switching this career path to attending that conference that I got clarity on exactly why it is that I've been feeling this nudge to start this journey of documenting my life online and hopefully having an impact while doing it.
Okay, thank you so much, Mrs. George. It was so great having you. Thank you.
Thank you, Oprah.